Guys, so what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Wine Up. I am your host, AlexisMaurice, and
TreiHollywood.
all right, and tonight we have a special episode. We're gonna be talking about dating, okay? Trey wanted to talk about dating or whatever because his personal life is in shams or whatever. So what we wanted to do is we want to create an atmosphere or a place where he can kind of talk about what's going on with him and why is his dating life trash and all that good stuff like that. So go ahead and pour yourself a glass of wine. Ladies, pull up a lipstick, pull up a chair. I am drinking some Seven Deadly Cab on tonight. It's Cabernet Sauvignon. So it's a red cab. So go ahead and pour yourself a glass of wine. Trey, what are you drinking on tonight?
I'm actually, okay, first of all, before I tell you what I'm drinking, I want to give a special shout out to my homegirl, Glad, for not purchasing me a bottle of wine like she said she was, because she judges me from my wine, and she's supposed to purchase me a wine a long time ago. But I'm drinking my favorite, Roscato.
Oh, okay. Why does she judge you for your wine? Did she say your wine is cheap or something?
She say it's trash or something, like your dating life,
Like my dating life. Well, Satira be talking about my wine be trash. No, cheap or whatever. Now, mind you, she was having a little situation a couple of weeks ago. So she was like, I need some wine. So when you go to the store, could you get me some wine? She said, sure. And not that cheap stuff is what she said.
So she said your selection is cheap. Well, I guess we just horrible at wine.
Right. And I like expensive wines, but there's this one particular brand of wine that Leandris bought me for Christmas a couple of years ago. It was a I can't think of the name of it, but I drink it all the time. It's a big ass bottle, and it's like $10 or whatever. But it's cheap, but it's so good. It's just so good.
Ain't nothing wrong with wine being cheap. It'd be good.
Well, yes, it is, because some of that wine can tear up your stomach.
Well, my wine don't tear up my stomach.
So tonight we're going to be talking about dating and relationships and why the hell is it so ghetto out here, okay? So, Trey, tell us why you wanted to talk about this. All jokes aside, why did you want to talk about dating?
I feel like dating is kind of like a pandemic. It's something that is very much a big topic in 2021, from an aspect of a man or a woman, young and old, black and white. I just feel like everybody is having an issue with dating. And I say that because I've watched many shows. I've started reading again, and so I've read books. And what really made me pique my interest was Will Smith's book. Okay. And the things that he talked about in his book. And, for a long time, a lot of us said, man, relationship goals, Will Smith and Jada, we wanted that Will and Jada love. And then
I don't want that kind of love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off, but go ahead.
But those are the things growing up where we was like, man, that's a black couple who we admire, who, blah, blah, blah. And so it's kind of like, it's very big. And like, for me, I'm 37 years old now, and I'm in a space now where I can talk openly about dating and not be offended by things the way that people feel. Because there was a point in my life where I was kind of like, that's not for you, or you're this way, or you're this that way. I don't do that anymore. I don't judge person mindset on how they date. So I feel like, let's talk about it. A lot of people want to talk about it.
Yeah, you're right. And I think this is an interesting conversation as well, too, because like I said, so many times, ain't nobody good out here. The dating pool is trash or whatever. Nobody's faithful or whatever the case may be. So we're going to just talk about all of that stuff or whatever. So my first question to you, Trey, is, let's start off. Why do you think you're single today? Why are you single?
There can be multiple reasons why I'm single, or why I feel that I'm single.
Yeah, why do you think you're single?
I feel like I'm gonna be completely transparent and be honest with you. I feel that I'm single because I'm at a place now where I'm not accepting to any and everything just because somebody, they like me, or they think I'm attractive, or they see us being together. I'm at a point in my life now where I want to be able to see myself with somebody long term. I don't want to do 6 months. I don't want to do you know, I meet your friends, you meet my friends, and then we break up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
I found value in myself and what I have to offer, and then not for a long time I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I know where I'm at in a place. Like I told
Mm-hmm.
you, I think last night, there were times previous dating situations where I was like, okay, well, I want to be in a relationship because I'm a hopeless romantic,
Right.
but I really wasn't ready to date. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really, really was not ready. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think for me, I found that place and I found out where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't accept to anybody.
You don't settle. You're not settling. You're not in the season of settling in your life. Cool.
Right. Right.
I think for me, the reason why I'm single now, and it's funny that you say that because the older you get, the more insight you receive, the more revelation that you receive. And I was another one where, oh my God, I can't find nobody, or I want to be in a relationship, or there's nobody,
Right.
all the niggas trash and all kind of stuff like that. But I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I actually had to sit down and think about that thing. One of the reasons why I think I'm single is one, I didn't always put myself out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
I said I wanted it or whatever, but I didn't put myself out there like that. And I didn't put myself out there like that is because I had self-esteem issues or whatever. I
Right.
had self-esteem issues with my image, my body size, and things of that nature. And I think social media kind of contributes to that, but we'll get to that a little bit later on.
Yes, we will.
But another thing I think too, I really didn't know what I wanted or whatever. Like, I didn't necessarily have any standards. So I would basically, because my self-esteem was low, I would just talk to any and everything or anyone who showed me attention or whatever
Right.
the case may be, or try to talk to those people.
Right.
So that's another thing. I really didn't know what I wanted. I said, well, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything. But guess what? We really aren't open to any and everything. As we try to sound so woke and all that kind of stuff like that when it comes to dating, but I didn't know what I wanted or whatever. And I think a lot of people a lot of times don't know what they wanted as well too.
So I got a question for you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So when you say you didn't know what you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
did that fall in the lines of, because a lot of people nowadays have a type or
Mm-hmm.
a preference,
Mm-hmm.
or he has to be this or she has to be that. Does that collide with the fact that you not knowing what you want or knowing what you want? Does that have to do with the fact that you have not standards, but you're
Mm-hmm.
big on your preferences, on what you prefer?
Right. Well, I think I'm still figuring that out. In all
Mm-hmm.
honesty, I think I'm still figuring that out because, like I said, of the fact that I had low self-esteem. I didn't think that I was worthy enough to be talking to people for people to talk to me, or that they didn't find me attractive, or I was too fat, or whatever the case may be. I think those things in my mind made me think, oh, okay, well, if Trey likes me, or if this girl or this boy likes me, then I'm just gonna give all my attention and devote to them because this is all that I'm worthy of. This
Right.
is all that's going to talk to me, or nobody else is going to want to talk to me, or whatever the case may be. And I think a lot of people, although they don't want to say it, they also think the same way as well too. I
Right.
think another reason why a lot of people, just not outside myself, but other people are single too, is because of the fact that some people just aren't really willing to do the damn work. Being in a relationship, talking to someone, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of effort, not just on your behalf, but on both parties' behalf. You can't just expect one person to do everything or carry the load in the relationship. It has to be a two-way thing, and all parties involved have to participate. And
Well,
you guys comment below and tell us, why do you think so many people are single? Or maybe why don't you share why you think you're single as well too?
yeah, and if you want to join in on the talk,
Yeah.
please let us know. We'll add you in, get your
Right.
input, what you feel. But it's interesting you say that, Maurice, because a lot of people think that certain types, like you say, you were insecure about, your weight or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody battles with that.
Yeah.
No matter what size you are, no matter
Yeah.
what complexion. Because people instantly think that, oh, Trey, you're light skinned, you have tattoos, you good, you got it. But I don't, I don't have it.
But wait a minute now. I'm gonna have to push back on you now. That's true. What you're saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to learn from other people that, okay, well, you think you got it hard because you big or you fat, but guess what? Everybody don't like skinny people. Everybody don't like light-skinned people. Everybody don't like dark-skinned people. So in my mind, you know, I thought I was the only one that was dealing with certain things. But guess what? A lot of people deal with a lot of different things. So it goes to what you're saying. Too skinny, too, you know, whatever the case may be. He ain't got no booty, he ain't got no titty or whatever. All that, you know, she ain't got no titty.
I'm gonna say this one thing, but then I'm gonna comment on some of the comments in the thing. I'm gonna say this one thing. I was in a relationship for 7-8 months with a brown-skinned individual. He realized 8 months into the relationship that he was no longer attracted to light-skinned men.
He wasn't attracted to light-skinned men. Maybe he just wasn't attracted to you, girl. Have you thought about that?
Again, it might have been.
Right.
But then I've noticed that his attraction switched over to dark-skinned men. And you know, we're at a time nowadays where people are so attracted to dark skin, like dark-skinned men, like dark is in, light skin.
Dark is in, bitch. We always was in, honey.
But whatever.
Y'all light skinned niggas, y'all got too many. Ooh, y'all got too many issues. Y'all
that's
so
emotional. Exactly.
Oh.
Everybody's emotional. It has nothing to do with your complexion. I had no control.
No. Everybody's not emotional like y'all light skinned people. Y'all wear y'all feelings on y'all hands, on y'all sleeves, on y'all legs, on y'all toes, on y'all face. Y'all just wear y'all emotions everywhere. There's so much dealing with light skinned people.
Let me read what Karina said. Karina said she's single because I know what characteristics in a man will compliment me, and I'm not settling.
So good question. I'm glad she said that. Let's segue into this. So when you're dating someone or whatever, what are some things that you're looking for?
8 months in.
What are some things that you're right? 8 months in, that's a red flag. I wish I had a red flag prompt because I'd go ahead and wave that. But
I'm gonna have that for next
episode.
episode.
When you want to talk to someone, or when you want to maybe pursue a relationship or dating or courting or whatever with someone, what are some things that you look for, Trey? Off the rip, what are some things that you look for?
So I live by 3 C's. The 3 C's.
3 C's. Come on, 3 C's.
The 3 C's. I want to see if anybody in the comments know what my 3 C's are. Can anybody tell me? I'm pretty sure Karina probably know, because I think I've told her before.
Consistency is one. I'm pretty sure. Consistency is one. Color is the other.
No, motherfucker, color.
Oh yeah, communication.
Communication.
Karina said communication, right?
Yep. And compromise. Consistency, communication, and compromise. You have to be able to be successful in anything. I say to be successful in a friendship, a relationship, a business, a partnership. You have to be able to communicate. If you do something that I don't like, Maurice, say we're recording and you may have said something in the show and I didn't like it. I could have held on to it. But if I don't communicate that to you, you would never know that it bothered me. Right. If you wanted me to do something on the show that I didn't feel comfortable doing, but you made me see why it would benefit us, if I'm not able to compromise to what you want me to do, we won't be successful.
I don't know why it's so hard for people to have those type of conversations. Communication is so important. So just a little bit of me. So one of the last guys,
chemistry. I like that one. Chemistry.
One of the guys that I had been communicating with recently or whatever, that we're not communicating anymore. I met him back in February. And so basically what he told me, my flaw, was that I was a horrible communicator. Now, I'm sitting here thinking like, bitch, I ain't no damn horrible communicator. I'm a communications major. I went to school for communications. Like, I work in the communications field. I know how to have a conversation. I know how to carry a conversation. But he told me that my communication skills sucked.
Well, let me say this. Well, go ahead, and then I'm gonna say.
No, go ahead. So wait. So I was like, well, what specifically do you mean when it comes to your communication skills? Now, Dion, I don't need nobody else coming on here talking about
God said he can see
related communication. We're talking about relationship level communications, okay? We're not talking about friend level communications.
So for that, when you say that,
I called you twice yesterday, no return call. That's
period.
a lie.
Period. Maurice will not answer the phone, and he won't call you back. It's like 3 days.
As soon as you called me yesterday, Moody, that's a lie. I called you back. But anyway, go ahead, Trey.
I'm gonna say this. So a lot of people think communication, okay, well, I'm having this conversation with you, so I know how to communicate. But communication also entails you listening. Like maybe to him, you are not listening to what he feel you need to listen to,
Yeah.
or how to listen to him. You may communicate with him, but you may not talk to him. You may talk at him. So you just have to know those differences between.
No, that wasn't it, Trey. I mean, I hear what you're saying. That wasn't it. What the problem is he was upset because I didn't always call him, or I wasn't always texting him. And he felt that because according to him, Satira, you remember this at your birthday.
He said maybe you talk too much.
Who said I may talk too much? You said that.
Let the boy talk. You might talk too much. Let him talk.
But he said that I didn't show. He said because I pursued him. Because I pursued him in the club, I should be the one leading the communication.
That's the problem, right?
And I think that's
because I did approach somebody in the club. So.
I think that is a load of BS. That I don't remember that's how it went, but that's how he did it. So do you believe that whoever the person who initiate trying to talk to the person should be the one always leading the conversation? I think that's immature to think like that.
No.
Right.
Not at all.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because if you're gonna use that as an excuse, that means that you're one, lazy, two, not really trying to build nothing, or three, all you wanted to do in this situation was just fuck. If you can't reach out to me as much as I reach out to you,
right,
then that means you don't really want nothing with me.
Right. Now I did have to look inward. And I had to look inward, and I had to say, okay, well, Maurice, pause. Is there an area of opportunity for you to improve your level of communication? And that's true. I could have improved a little bit because I wasn't always calling, or I wasn't always texting. But this leads into another conversation I want to talk about. So when you're like dating or courting someone, I didn't want to come across as too thirsty.
Okay.
That's a word that people love to throw out these days, especially the guys. Yep. Oh, he too thirsty. I want to talk to him, or he always this. But my thought process is, if this is someone who you're interested in, should you not try to keep the lines of communication open? There was a meme going around that had a fine guy or whatever, and I think the ugly guy, they said that he was thirsty. And then the other fine guy in the meme, they said that, he was trying to talk to me or something like that. And I think there's a level of, pretty privilege, but we don't get into that. But do you understand what I was saying just now?
Yeah. For me, like, that goes back to being consistent. If I meet you and I show interest in you, that does not mean that that's kind of like proving a point. Like, you need to prove, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you the one that tried to holler at me. So if you really want to try to holler at me, then you need to be consistent. You need to be the one to hit me up all the time. That's right there, red flag.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. Okay, so Terrell said, folks always want to be chased. No, chasing should happen with both parties. Yep. I want to play tag, not hide, go seek. Exactly.
I mean, I want to play tag, 100%. But I also want to play hide and go seek too.
But Trey, back to the original question. What are some things that you look for when you're trying to talk to someone? So you said communication, you said
compromise, consistency, but also I need to know that you, one, have a relationship with your family, because I'm very family driven. Okay. People often say, you have the relationship with God. I'm going to have my relationship with God. So I would appreciate if he has a relationship with God.
Do you go to church?
I watch my church from back home.
Hush, whiskey.
I watch my church from back home. I woke up like this. But no, and then also, having your own, like, I understand some people are in situations. You may not have your own place. You may not have your own car. But you better be financially stable to where I say, hey, I want to go somewhere. I don't have to pick you up. You're going to Uber your ass over there. And then maybe I'll take you home because you got too drunk. But I can't take care of a grown man. Can't do it.
Right. So having a car is important to you. Having their own place is important to you too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a roommate right now, so and I've had a roommate for
but you still don't live with.
That don't make me no goddamn bum, bitch. Oh, right. That don't make me no bum.
That don't make you a bum because you're not living at home with your mom. Now, some people do live at home with their mom, but it's because maybe they're taking care of their mom, They're taking care of their dad. But again, it used to be where I was okay with you not having a car, or I was okay with you not doing this. But I found my worth.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you need to be able to say, you know what, Trey, I want to take you out. You gonna come pick me up. You gonna pay for dinner. And if you don't have those things, the only thing I'll be okay with, the only thing is you not having your own place. That's it.
So for me, I definitely want someone who is a great communicator. One of the things I look for. You may not want to talk about it, but let's talk about physical. Like I'm a big guy. I don't want no nigga that's bigger than me or whatever. Now, he can be taller than me, and I'm tall as fuck. So I'm like 6'2", 6'3". So
pause real quick, Maurice.
If he's taller than
real quick,
me,
Maurice, pause real quick. While you're saying this, if there's any lady, I would like to have a woman. If there's a lady that's watching, if y'all would like to go live with us, please put in the comments so we can add y'all. I would like to hear y'all input. But go ahead, Maurice.
But yeah, I want them tall. I prefer, since we're talking about physical, because at the end of the day, the beginning of the morning, the middle of the afternoon, okay, you want to be attracted to the person that you're with, okay?
Right.
You don't want let me say, you want to be attracted. It doesn't necessarily matter what other people think, but you do want to, when you look at that person, you want to be like, damn, he cute, or damn, she cute, or damn, she fine, or whatever the case may be. Like, you want to be able to say those things or talk about it. So, physical, I do want someone who works and has some type of work ethic. I can't stand no bum ass nigga or nobody that, we living together, or they don't work, they don't do nothing, they sleep into 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but
Robin,
all damn day long, or whatever the case may be. I want someone that got a little bit of drive to them, that has some sense of purpose, about their lives and things of that particular nature, or whatever. Those are sort of some of the things that I look for, when I'm kind of talking to someone as well too. And for me, I also, and we're going to talk about social media in a minute, but I also do a check amongst my friends. So, I'll drop a picture, or they'll drop a picture into, the chat, like, hey, Maurice, Mo, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Yeah, with this person, yeah, I do full research, full background checks, because I personally, this is me, I don't want to be talking to nobody who somebody of my friends done slept with them, done seen their ecstasy face or whatever.
Well, let's go to that. Since you said that. All right. So in that whole sentence and breath that you're saying, if a friend of yours just say has sex with this individual, does that stop you from dating them?
It's a no for me. That's me personally. It's a no for me. Because
for me, I don't feel that same way, because I feel like for somebody, for someone
with my man, you'll sleep with my man, my ex-man.
Here you go.
Damn
right. That's not what I just said,
I don't
Maurice.
trust bitches like you, girl. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all around my man or my ex.
Listen.
Anyway,
I said if it's someone you slept with. I didn't say your man, because I'm not gonna dare be in a relationship with your man.
Some people will.
But if you had a one-night stand with somebody, and I sent you a picture, y'all know him, yeah, we hooked up one night. He might have been a one night for you, but for me, he might actually be my husband.
Yeah, well, he's not the man. He ain't the man for me.
Well, I mean, probably because,
No, he's not the one for me. I'm sorry. Some people are okay with that. And maybe, I'm grown. I'm of a particular age. If the right one come along, I may change my mind. But
I'm older than you. Oh, no, no. Yes, I am.
I don't know about that. You know how we do when we being, in the group.
The community is so small. The community is so small.
Or whatever. And then you in the room and you thinking, okay, well, damn, is Trey thinking about the last time when him and this guy, maybe even though y'all didn't work out, maybe he hit your walls real good that time, or whatever the case may be. So, you just never know. He's never know. So let's talk about this. So I saw this meme that was on social media. And for those of you who don't, if you want to see it, go to my Insta story _AlexisMaurice. And so it kind of talks about the phases of dating. I think you also have to consider your relationship with your friend. If you value that friendship and you knew you shouldn't have let it go that far. Exactly. Good point.
Walls, yes, y'all. He did say walls.
At time, you can't control that. Swavy, that's a bunch of bullshit. You can control it. Be an adult. Be grown about that shit. You know you're not supposed to be mixing and mingling with your friends' booze or whatever the case may be. Yes, you can control it. It's all about the decisions that you make.
You okay, Maurice? It seemed like they hit a wall.
So let's talk about
they hit a wall.
So this is the stages of dating. So
okay.
The first, and let me know if you guys agree with this. So the first one, talking. The first step is talking. We've exchanged numbers, do things on a friendship level, and maybe even had sex. Testing the waters to see if it's a growing interest. Second step. So once you move past that, a lot of people don't even make it past this damn step. Dating.
Hold on, wait. Okay, that's a good point. What if it's something that happened 10 years ago?
It ain't for me either. That's just me.
It's a whole new person. That person's grown.
I don't care. If you have seen my person's titties, pussies, ass, dick, no. I can't. Me and you can't get together. That's how I feel right now. Times may change. Next step. After you're talking, you move on to the next step, which is dating. We are spending time together doing various activities. Movie, bowling, concerts, dinner, etc. as friends with a mutual interest in each other, but we still are allowed to talk to other people. Let's put a footnote in that. That's where I have a problem with. Dating exclusively. We are dating, however, we have cut off all other people we're interested in to focus on us getting to know each other better. Last step, relationship. We have made a mutual agreement to become a couple. It's just you and me, period, point blank.
You know what? That's a good point. I really don't trust the talking stage either. I want to get to the, I want to go to the, we exchange phone numbers.
That's the talking phase.
And then, but it's just like somewhere in there between, people get confused, and then they just, we're not committed. So my thing is, this is me. I used to be the individual. Since we're on that, I used to be the individual where I'm talking to one individual at one time.
Let's talk about this. This is the part
one time. Because I feel like if I really, really want to get to know you, for you, I need to only focus on you. Right. Not Jason, not Byron, not Keisha, Diane, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I need to focus on you. But as I've grown, I realized, you know what? Don't put all my eggs in one basket.
I don't agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Don't just, because if I put my all in this one person, then I'm gonna probably miss out on something. But for me, I used to be this person. Hold on. If we're not exclusively dating, then we're not having sex. If we just having a hookup, then let's just have a hookup.
But how do you know if you hook up first and then realize, okay, well, I kind of like this person? Like do you automatically disqualify that person because y'all had sex? No, you don't do that.
No.
Right, exactly. No. People, it's so easy. People say, well, when I'm talking to someone or I'm dating, no. I mean, there's a lot of times when people hook up and then they realize, oh, I kind of like this person. Let's see what this is, where this can actually go. This is how I feel about dating and talking to people. And I've had many arguments with people about this. When people always talk about, well, when you're dating, when you talk to people, you can talk to multiple people at the same time. Hell nah. And this is probably one of my issues. I don't necessarily believe that because of the fact that a lot of y'all can't even write and talk at the same time. Y'all can't talk and text at the same time. You can't be in 2 meetings. You can't do work-related shit at the same time. So why in the hell do you think you are that talented enough where you can juggle multiple people? I don't believe in that. And maybe I'm selling myself short or whatever when it comes to this, but I think it's hard for you to really get to know someone if you all out here mixing and mingling with 20 damn people that you're talking to. That's not a lot 20. Of damn people. How
not
can
20.
You really get to know someone if you doing all of that?
It's possible. It is possible.
I don't think
I've
it's
done
possible.
it. I've done it.
But you're
Actually, I've
still
done it.
single right now.
I've done it because I
You're
decided
still
to not be.
single right now.
I decided not to date those individuals. Yeah, I did it. I did it when I was here, when I first, like, not when I first got here to Houston, a couple months after being in Houston. And I told them, I said, hey, I'm talking to this person. That person was okay with it. I'm talking to that person. It's about that communication factor.
Right.
So if you feel like you're mature enough, or not saying you're immature if you can't do it, but if you feel like you're mature enough to actually have that conversation with that person and say, hey, I'm talking to this person, I'm getting to know this person. But the whole thing is I'm not going to have sex with all of them. No.
Yeah, that's what everybody say, but that's exactly what ends up happening. And then
No.
you want to call all them hoes because they done gave you the booty or the pussy. So Daniela said, my whole thing is why? Does someone deserve my undivided attention in the talking stage? It's a good
I want
point.
to bring Daniela in. I met Daniela actually on
let's
Instagram Live.
Bring her in. If she wants to come on, let her come on.
Yeah, I met her on Instagram Live like some months ago, and she is like, she moved to Dallas, and she is just like so sweet, and we get along so well. So if you want to come on, Daniela, come
Do I
on.
have to? Daniela asked to join.
I think she has to request. She has to request, yes.
Or whatever. I mean, I just think that if people don't have an intention, their attention spans can't handle everyday activities all at one time. So why maybe one or two people? But when you get into 5 and 10 people at this, we talking. How can you really get to know someone as if a part of you is here, a part of you is there, a part of you is over there? You done slept with half of them, so you done exchange souls with each other. I just don't understand how you can.
That's a good point, That's a good point by Johanna. She said, "No, because if I end up connecting with you, only for you to connect with someone else, how is that okay?" It's a good point.
Hey, boo!
Hey, everyone!
Oh, she's pretty.
This is a very interesting topic.
Okay, tell us how you feel, girl. Come on.
So, my question was, why does someone deserve my undivided attention in the talking phase? And my own answer to that is they don't. Mm-hmm. They don't deserve my undivided attention because we're just talking. We're testing the waters.
Right.
And I feel as if, if I'm getting to know somebody from the get-go, I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Nothing's been invested in our time. I haven't given you my time, my energy, for either of us to feel like we owe each other something, right? Mm-hmm. So at that point, it's like, sure, we can be texting and talking. Mm-hmm. However, if I just happen to bump into someone that, could possibly be a better choice at the grocery store, by all means, I'm going to give them my number,
Absolutely.
That's, right. You know what, in all honesty, that happened to me a couple of weeks ago. So there was another individual that I met on the chat, and he and I had a really good connection. I think, again, another issue that came up with him was communication with me. So I'm still working on that. But he told me, he said, I like you, you're really cool, but I met someone else, and I think my connection with them is stronger. And so I was like, okay, well, I can totally respect that. It ain't feel good, but I can totally respect that. So, I mean, kind of putting it into that perspective, that is true. Maybe I am selling myself short trying to talk to one person at one particular point in time, not giving myself enough options or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
We met on the site.
It is. And you should not, just to respond to what you said, Daniela, you shouldn't have to, give all your one to that one person, mm-hmm. because you never really know truly what their intentions are, mm-hmm. or really what they're doing when they're not with you or around you. Mm-hmm. They can tell you one thing and completely be doing another. Mm-hmm. I think some people lie when they're in that talking stage and say, just because they wanted to sound good, they want to make you feel like this, and that. But in all honesty, sometimes not. But hopefully, when you get in that relationship, it is the truth. It mm-hmm. is that honesty where it's kind of like, it's only you. It's only you and I. I want to be exclusive with you. That's why I feel like I'm at a place now where I don't just sell myself short to just one person, because you never really know their intentions. You can be putting all your all in that person while they're doing it with other people, and then just bounce and go ghost. And right. You're sitting here looking stupid. I'm going to use this as an example, and I'm going to be transparent. There was a guy that I met when I moved here to Houston. Him and I was kicking it for about 3 months, and out of nowhere, he ended up having a boyfriend. Literally.
So you would have looked like a fool. Well, you did kind of look like a fool, but you would look like a fool only talking to him, and then he come to find out he got a whole nother boyfriend. That's true. That's actually true. Daniela, when you are talking to someone or when you're dating someone, what are some of the things that you look for?
If I'm genuinely interested in somebody, I want to know that, they have the time, the attention span, and, the best intentions.
Okay.
My time has been wasted plenty of times. There is no shortage of times where my time has been wasted. Mm-hmm. Either they just weren't, all in, or they were looking for something quick, or I was the third, fourth person they were talking to. Trust me, no shortage there. So I just honestly feel that when I'm talking to someone and I'm genuinely interested, I want to make sure that they're intentionally looking, but I also want to have that conversation with myself and ask myself the same questions. Am I intentionally looking? Because sometimes, you could be bored, or you could be lonely, or, you could just need a friend or a companion. And, you start looking, and, once you have that companionship or something, you're like, okay, well, this is enough. This is enough for me. The friendship, the companionship. And you don't know that until you're actually in there. So you have to ask yourself the same questions. Am I also looking for something?
And that's a very, very good point. I was having this same conversation with some friends as well, too, that we have a mutual friend that he's younger, but he said that he's dating with the intentions of marrying. Or whatever the case may be. And when you're intended, and when you know what you want, and you know what you're looking for, like, you can be in a place where you can start just chopping bitches off, like, no, you're not giving me what I'm looking for. And the guy, and to answer your question, Di, and everybody else, Cameron, the person who I was talking about, the last guy, I met him on Facebook dating. That's why I met him on that particular platform. And we talked a couple of times, we FaceTime, and, we actually went out once as well, too. But he told me, he's another one who told me that I'm dating with the intentions of marrying. So I'm looking for someone who is looking for the exact same things as well, too. And that's very, very important, Daniela. That's very, very important. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to talk about some other stuff. So if you want to come back on, girl, at another time. We talk about another topic, okay?
Not beautiful.
Thanks, Boo. Now, let's also talk about social media. Let's talk about, you looking to marry, Mo? No.
You're not?
I
you don't want to get married?
I don't think the whole marriage thing is for me. I people ask me that, like, do you want to get married one day? If it comes to a man, probably not. But I will say this. I am open to the idea of marrying someone. If marriage is important to the person that I'm dating, then I'm open to it. But I'm not going to be, I'm going to marry this, I'm going to get married.
But Dia, shut up.
That's just not me. That's why it didn't work. Then he told your ass what he was. Right, exactly. Like, I appreciated him telling me that, so I couldn't argue with him about that. That's different than the other person who I met in February in the club. You know what I'm talking about.
You be meeting people. I want to be like you.
And that's because
I just be here with my dog.
I think I started putting myself out there more, knowing my worth, not having so much low self-esteem like I had in the past and stuff like that. I think that helped me, and that helped my level of confidence, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, so let's talk about social media and how social media has influenced or changed the game when it comes to dating. So how do you feel about social media, Trey? Do you think social media is really problematic when it comes to talking, dating, in relationships, marriage, or whatever the case may be? Do you think it is a problem?
I think social media Social media is a problem for the weak-minded.
Okay.
And I say that because social media can be a great. I say this because I know quite a few couples from people who are in a relationship, people who are married, and they use that platform as a business. They use that platform as something good. So I feel like social media being a problem for people is the mentality of the person that's using it. So if I'm in a relationship and I'm in a relationship with somebody who is looking for things via social media, then that's their mentality. That's not what
when you say looking for things in social media, what are you talking about? Explain.
I'll give you an example. I'm giving y'all all my business. I was in a relationship once before where the person I was in a relationship with used Instagram as a way to talk to other men, either by sliding in their DMs, liking certain pictures, commenting certain things. That's his mentality. For me, I'm not going to do that. For one, it's trackable. It can be tracked.
Why are you looking at that stuff anyway? Why are you looking at the people or the pictures that he's liking and stuff like that?
Well, you know, Instagram used to be a way where if you're somebody you follow like something, you see it. At that time, Instagram did that, and so I would see it. So that's how I knew. But also, I was in his bed one day, and he was in the shower, and I saw a message come through while I was playing music on his iPad, and I saw what the message said. So then I opened up in DMs. Sure,
so you plunder through people's phones?
No. I said what I said. I was in his iPad playing
and
music.
I asked you a question. So you plundered, and you went fishing through his shit.
I saw something come through while I had his iPad in my phone, and I did go look, and I found more. So
every time you go looking for something, girl, you always find it. That's why you need to stay your ass out of them DMs. Stay out of them text messages and stuff.
So you never did it before? You never did it? Right. So I think that social media is very toxic for the weak-minded people in relationships. And I don't think that social media, there's actually someone here watching, her and her wife. They have their own black business. They have their own barbershop/salon, and they use their social media for their company. They use their social media to promote the workouts they be doing, and they're the type of relationship that I see using social media as a good platform.
That you see.
Yes, and I feel that I see.
So this is how I feel about social media. I personally believe social media has really fucked up the whole dating scene just a little bit, because here's why. I feel that social media has given too much access to people and things, or people in situations that they normally would not be interacting with or engaging with. Back in the day, people used to go to Freaknik. They used to go to these other little places to meet people. You exchange telephone numbers, you talk, but that was just about it. Now with social media, people be all in people DMs in Alaska and China and Brazil and Texas. They be in everybody's DMs. And because this goes back to my original point about talking to multiple people at the same time, some people can't handle that. Oh, I see this. Social media gives you the next best thing. Okay, Mo's cool. Yeah, Trey's good. But there's a possibility that I can talk to this fine ass nigga over in, DC, or this nigga over in Atlanta, or this bitch down in Miami, or whatever the case may be. No offense to anybody. But I think it's too much variety, it's too much access.
But that's not social media fault.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle it. Why? Why they can't handle it? Because they're weak-minded.
I don't necessarily think it has to do with me. I think even with strong-willed people or whatever like that just having too much, it's hard for you to really pick someone or commit to somebody or whatever. You're talking to 17,000 followers at one point, and it was like, well, damn, who? And then it just becomes just sex after
Y'all
that.
ever seen that? Y'all ever seen that meme with the white cat when he's like that's me right now.
I don't like that weak-minded wording. Well, what would you call it? Would you call it something else? I
Yeah,
just
what
think
we
that
call it?
social media is, it can
So
cause a problem. Now, what do you feel about posting your lover? Let's say you're in a relationship. How do you feel about posting your man or woman on social media?
I'm not changing subjects. Hold on, let me go back to because some people are not liking that I said weak minded. And it's not an attack of people's mentality or their mental state
Can
because
you open up that other bottle of wine, please?
because mental health is important. But what I'm saying is that
yes, it's going.
if a person cannot mentally be involved with just their person they're in a relationship with, where they have to go to social media to look at this or do that, then that's a problem.
I
That's
think
mentally a problem.
I don't think it's mentally. I think there could possibly be a fundamental problem in the foundation of the relationship.
It all starts from the mental.
I
That
don't
is
think
not. That
it's
has not.
mental.
That
I
doesn't
don't
mean
think
my.
it's mental. I think it's just a fundamental problem in your relationship. That if you have to go lurking, then somewhere in your mind, somewhere,
So why don't you
there's
communicate
a
it to me then?
seed that was
Then why don't you
planted.
communicate it to me then? If there's a problem, if you want to see somebody else sexually, you can come to me and say, "Bang, I want to have a threesome." Boom, you communicate it to me, and I'll choose if I want to compromise. Something inside of you is insecure in your mind where you say, "You know what? I have to get attention from somewhere else." Mentally, you're somewhere else.
I
Keep
think
minded.
there could be a level of insecurity with that
Absolutely.
person because something somewhere had, whether it's you or maybe some things have happened or you've seen some behaviors that's triggering you to go looking into those DMs or seeing what they're liking and stuff like that. Dot says if your partner doesn't want to be posted, red flag again. We are all grown. I think sometimes it goes back to that question, how do you feel
I
about
post mine.
posting
Yeah.
your lover on social media?
Yeah. I mean, my thing
I
is, I think
don't think there's anything wrong with it. The only thing I say
the best
is
cheaters
if
are
you
not on
start
social media.
posting him,
Amen.
then if y'all break up, then bitch, you got to go back and you got to delete all of them posts or whatever. You don't put up this whole grand soliloquy on Facebook. Oh, this my boo, this my man, this my girlfriend, all that stuff like that. This my boo. Yeah. I got a man, I got a girl. Which I don't know why people are so quick to run to do that on social media.
So,
but when you do that, then if you break up, you got to take all that shit down. That's a lot of. I ain't got time to be going through my damn timeline and my feed, deleting stuff. But I agree with Doc. If your lover does not want to be posted,
he hiding from
it
somebody.
could
He
be
hiding from
because they
somebody.
know that people are going to be in their DMs. But two, I do think that there could possibly be that could be a little. There might be a little problem with that. Because
But
if
see,
you're
think
in a
about.
relationship with someone, you should not worry or have a problem with the world knowing that you're in a relationship.
But why must you? So for me, like if I get into a relationship, I'm not going to have a problem with posting my man on my Instagram. However, my caption does not have to specify that this is my man. I could be hanging out with
Oh, so
him.
you
We
one of
take
them
pictures.
inconspicuous ones.
No,
What's the word?
I'm one of the ones where it's my business is my business. Whatever you want to insinuate or whatever you want to assume, you can go ahead and assume.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to post my man, I'm gonna post my man. It's not because
Mm-hmm.
I'm hiding him. It's because when I'm ready for you to know that we've been together. We could have been together all year. But if I want to post on New Year's that I've been with this man for a whole year, you've seen him
Mm-hmm.
on my Instagram. You got to know when I'm ready for you to know. But I'm gonna post what I want to post, and I'm gonna delete what I want to delete. But like Doc said, they got archives. That's what you got archives. But the thing about it is, I don't. When I go into stuff, I don't go into it thinking the negative. Like for example, I have a tattoo of my ex boyfriend's birthday on my arm. I didn't
You
think,
can
oh my
cover
god,
that shit up. Cover that up, child. Cover that
I
up.
didn't.
You can delete posts on Facebook. Cover that up.
No,
Delete, remove, control, alt, delete. Take that off you. Why you got that stamp on you?
it's not a stamp.
It
Okay,
is.
it's not something I'm ashamed of. When I was with him, I loved him. I still love him. I was in love with him. I got it. It is what it is. But I wasn't thinking when I got it that, oh my God, we may break up. Oh my God, I may have to cover it up. then that's the same thing I'm gonna think about social media. I'm not gonna
if
think about what I got to delete, what I got to archive.
if my man Trey, you need to get that removed, but that's a whole nother conversation.
No,
but
no.
if my man or my, whoever you're dating has an issue with me making a public service announcement about them, that to me, that could be a red flag.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I understand, like, if they're taking it a step further, a little deeper, if they're in ministry, in the church or something like that, then I can totally see that. But if they're not in ministry, they're not doing that crazy, I think it's okay for you to kind of put it out there that this is mine. This person is in relationship with me, because people who don't want that, a lot of times they got a second account, or they got that freak Twitter account where they're doing all kind of inappropriate shit and things of that particular nature.
You got one, Maurice? You got one? You got one?
No, I don't have a freak Twitter account.
Oh, you got an OnlyFans?
I've always said I don't need.
You got an OnlyFans?
I probably need to get one, because I can't put my Twitter up in public. Like
you got an OnlyFans?
I ain't got no OnlyFans. I ain't got no Connect Pal or whatever. But one time I was in church and I put my Twitter up, and bitch, all I saw was ass and dick. I said, Lord,
Maurice, why were you on Twitter in church?
Because
did the pastor say open up your Twitter?
Listen, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
The pastor didn't say open up your
Twitter
to Corinthians.
Daniela said this: if you're going to broadcast your relationship, it should not affect the relationship for better or worse. Agreed. It should just be a post. If it becomes an issue in some way, there is an underlying problem. Agreed. I agree 100%.
I agree. I completely agree. Well, let me ask you this, Maurice. What's Connect Pal?
Connect Pal is a subscriber-based platform where people can go and put content out, whether it be PG, whether it be MA, whether it be rated R, whether it be 13, whatever, PG-13. But it's a place where people can go and they can put out content. What's the problem?
Who, me?
Maurice, you're going to have to change your relationship status. Changing your relationship status on Facebook. And I hate to even talk about this.
Do people still do that?
Social media has caused people to want to know and think about stuff like this.
It's a preference where I live. I meet a lot of men with careers that forbid them or frown upon having social media, and they also don't believe in having their face on the internet for reasons. So it's a hit or miss there for me, because I feel like, if you don't want to be on social media and you have a business, that's something that's good for your business.
Right.
So I feel like that might be kind of like a reason why they may be using an excuse.
But because some people like to have that persona that they are single. Yeah, I might be in a whole fucking relationship, but maybe it's good for my brand for me to appear single and ready to mingle. And that's a problem for me. And the
Alphabet company careers.
Alphabet company careers. Right.
Okay. All right.
Social media flat out burned out the boundaries of privacy.
DMV, Alphabet, I get it. Did you pick up on it? Did you pick up what she was putting down? She said Alphabet careers in the DMV. Did you guys pick up on it? Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, or whatever. So one last thing, and this is actually a good conversation. We've actually been all over the place or whatever, but I do want to talk about, before we go, aspects of relationships that you think are important. So when you are past the talking, when you are past the dating phase, and you make the decision to actually be in a relationship, what are some things that are important to you? And maybe you even, kind of would decide this before you get into a relationship. But some of the things, aspects of different relationships, communication, which is what we've talked about, affection is important for some people, intimacy and sex, commitment, security, respect, trust, and honesty. That's a big one for me. Support and nurturing, conflict resolution, finances, emotional stability, enrichment, individuality, friendship, becoming friends, and managing outside friends, and commonality. What are some things that are important to you, Trey? What are your top 3? That we talked about. You already kind of said commitment.
Well, yeah, but I have other than communication, compromise, and consistency. I think one of the things for me is for me, and what I encourage people to know is to know your love languages. And for me, one of my love languages is physical touch.
Okay.
And quality time. So those are 2 things to me in order to be with somebody or getting past that stage is I just need to feel like you want to be in my space. You want to spend that time with me. You want to travel and do this with me. And you want to kiss on me. Like I just love those things. So for me, it's like you have to.
You want to be touched. You want to be loved. You want to be kissed. You want to be hugged. So affection is something that's important to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What about like establishing roles in your relationship? Like for men, and maybe even for women, but I know for men, this is something that comes up. This is something that comes up quite frequently when you're dealing with same sex. Who is supposed to do what?
We need to talk about that because that pisses me off. Because
who is supposed to be like, for example, for us, who's supposed to take out the trash? Who is supposed to pay the rent? Like, do you believe, like, for example, do you believe in splitting finances, Trey? Do you believe in splitting everything down the middle, 50-50? Or do you believe in something else?
I had this conversation with my sister. And it's to me, I feel like it's so important because so many people
I'm on my second bottle of wine, by the way.
Really, Maurice?
Yeah.
You're drunk ass. So I feel like for me, I don't do the 50-50 thing. Mm. I do the 100-100. I was having a conversation with my sister. So like for me,
what you mean what you mean 100-100? Explain 100-100 to me.
100-100. So what's if you at a point right now, if we're at a point where we split these bills and you come to me and say, "Babe, I only can do 30," then I need to be able to do 70. Wait, that is so yeah. So like I just feel like you saying let's not split the bill. The top only pays the rent, the bottom, pays for the groceries, or the cable bill. Motherfucker, we not in our grandpa and our grandma times. Okay, this ain't 1975 where my grandpa. The reason why, and I said this before, there was a time where women were not getting paid what men were getting paid. Men was the breadwinner, so of course they were paying majority of the bills. The woman may have worked at home. She might have, did whatever she did. But the gay men have this mentality where they feel like they're men and women of the 60s or the 50s or the 40s, where the top has to do what the man did and the bottom has to do what the wife did. No, motherfucker, if we live in the same household, you gonna pay your half, we gonna pay your half, and I'm gonna pay my half.
So you believe in split 50-50?
Yeah, you pay your half, I pay mine. We both under the same roof. I'm not on half of the roof, and you're on the other half. I'm not using more than I'm not using. No.
So let me say this.
No.
When I used to be that 50-50 bitch. Like we split everything now 50-50. No, but I don't necessarily believe that anymore, and here's why.
What?
I don't necessarily believe that anymore. And I feel that if a partner is in the position, if you make...
Wait, hold on, pause. Now, if we get into a relationship and we live in a house together and you understand that, I make more than you and I may need to carry more of the load, then that's understandable. But don't come into this expectation in your mind thinking, all right, well, you already, you fucking me, so you need to pay more. No, now, if I make more than you and you make less than me or vice versa, then that's understood.
Okay.
But people go into mentality where I think because of the position that you play in that relationship, that's automatically what you should pay. Nah, bro. Nah, not at all.
Well, I don't have a problem anymore with the man taking care of me. I used to say that back in the day that I don't want anybody taking care of me. And some of y'all may be afraid to say it, but if I had a man that made X amount of money and I knew that I was putting it down in the bedroom, but also I was making sure the home is kept, and like when he came home, I don't have no problem with paying. I don't have no problem with playing that role where I cook, I clean, but you also, only thing I ask is you allow me to chase my dreams and aspirations. I don't have a problem with that. I used to, but if he got, if he's in a place where he's really secure financially, professionally, and me quitting my job and playing housewife, but also doing
Cameron.
things to, further my career, I don't have a problem with it. I actually don't have a problem with it anymore. I honestly think we need to get back to those things in my own personal agreement. But I think for men, it's tough for men because no man wants to be taking care of another man. No man wants that. They don't want to be, well, I'm taking care of her. Some people are okay with that, but some people aren't okay with that. But I have no problem with assuming the role of letting somebody take care of me long as
I can't lay up with no man. I can't lay up with no man that ain't got no type of job and think I'm just gonna be paying all these bills. Now I see if he has his own business.
But you know what? In all honesty, upkeeping a home and taking care of children, that's a whole job, Trey. That is a whole job. Taking care of the home and keeping up and taking care of the children, that's a whole job.
How many gay couples got children? There are some people who are out there. That's gonna be once in that home. No, Maurice. No.
Well,
no.
I'm just saying I ain't got no problem with that kind of stuff or whatever the case may be. But so much more that we could touch on tonight. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with JT. My cousin say facts, Mo. Right?
JT don't need to say no facts.
If your man making $700,000 or $1 million a year, what the fuck is what you out there working for? Get your ass home.
So again,
and work on
I just
your own dreams and aspirations to build up the house.
I just stated. However, if my man or I make that type of money, then that's a different part. But if you and I are middle class men sitting here working in our middle class jobs, getting up, clock in at 9 to 5 every day. Granted, I may make, let's just say if I make $40 an hour.
Stop. Let me test that theory real quick.
Say if I make $40 an hour.
House manager. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Daniela. House manager. Go ahead.
Let's just say I make $40 an hour and you make $20 an hour. Right? Then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to pay this. You pay that. But you're going to pay something. You ain't about to be sitting out here talking about you chasing a dream, and I'm paying everything. Sorry, it's not happening.
Let me ask you a question, and then we'll go ahead and end it on this. Let's say that, I'm starting to get a little tipsy because I said stay. Let's say you've been in a relationship with a dude. Y'all been, y'all been in it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes home and says, babe, I'm not happy at my job. This is not what I want to be doing.
I've been there.
I want to quit my job and go back to school or pursue my dream or my passion. How does that conversation look? Are you gonna be okay with him? And you can afford to hold the both of y'all down. You may have to tighten up some things, but you can swing it. Are you gonna allow your man to go after his dreams and aspirations, or give him time to find a job in his dreams and aspirations?
Yeah. I would. I've been there. I've done that.
So what difference does it make? What difference does it make?
Because at that point, we're in a relationship. I'm talking about meeting somebody, knowing that they ain't going to have nothing or provide nothing. I need to know that you are going to be able to do that. Not we're in a relationship and you tell me, you know what, I'm unhappy in my job and I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to be supportive of that. If I'm able to financially take care of us, I would.
What difference does it make then?
I just say the point.
I don't understand what difference does it make. I mean, you're saying because y'all y'all in a relationship
You just
already.
said him going back to school, which means he's trying to better his. You didn't say all that before. You just say he had no job, or
Whatever.
or also just take care of him.
Whatever.
No.
Thank y'all so much for watching tonight's episode. I think this was a great conversation. I think people need to have these type of conversations. The takeaway is being open and having lines of communication.
Well, before we leave.
Also, before we leave, what?
Are you ready to be in a relationship?
You know what? Am I ready to be in a relationship? The answer to that is no. No.
Okay.
Because for me personally, getting back out there from a vlogging perspective and my little side hustle that I'm doing with social media management for small businesses and stuff like that. And the thing, video production, I really don't have time for no man no more. Okay. And those two guys who I have referred to in the conversation, it was just a slap in the face that really I don't. But I'm in a different place now of what I want. And, I've talked about this with Moody and stuff like that. What do you really want in a relationship? So my mind is different now. So if being that I know what I want and I know what I'm looking for a little bit more than what I used to, that means I think I'm a little bit more receptive. And the feedback that I've received from the people, the two guys who I've talked to lately, as of late, I know I need to work on communication. I know I need to work on my consistency with communication. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there to be in a relationship. But I am there to be dating and getting to know people, maybe opening myself up to talk to multiple people at the same time. So that's sort of kind of my takeaway from this situation. And yes, bills is high as fuck. They are high as fuck. And I'm trying to find somebody that can take care of me. I ain't gonna listen because I know what I want out of life now. And I know what I want to chase. So if I had a telephone bill that was coming along that was going to help me, I'm okay with that now.
Can you pay my automobile? Maybe then we can chill.
Are you ready to be in a relationship now?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
So next time, part two, when we talk about this again, we're going to talk about things that you should already have in order when you're entering into a relationship. And we're going to talk about some other stuff as well, too. But thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate y'all. This is a very good conversation.
Aren't you glad that I said we should talk about this?
Yeah, this is good. Because people are single. I think there's a lot of people in this world who are ready to be in a committed relationship, or they think they're ready to be in a committed relationship. Right. But when you start talking about these things, some of the things that we've talked about today,
my frames are straight. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It makes you kind of go back and think like, damn, am I really ready to do this? And I can date back to a specific conversation that I had with some of my friends. I was like, you know what? I may not be ready for a commitment like I think I am.
Yeah, and there was a point when I wasn't ready.
But in all actuality, my life and my situation ain't really set up for that just yet. And we have to learn to be honest with each other about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we might, since we talked about relationships tonight, it was theme specific.
Yes. Wow. We got something else.
We may be back on tomorrow night to talk about Jussie Smollett, Kristen Thompson, Chris Como. It's a lot of stuff going on tonight. But we wanted to commit to this relationship. But it's time for us to get back to the hot topics, to the gossip girl. And I got an opinion about Jussie Smollett. And from what I heard, the jury has actually reached a verdict, but they decided to go home tonight, and they're going to give us a verdict tomorrow. So
they went home to go to them. They went home to go to them bathhouses. They had to
go ahead and see bathhouses, and some of us have been to those things, and some of us is partaking. But listen, we probably are going to come back on tomorrow night so we can discuss some hot topics. Yes, Jussie Smollett is a fucking snitch. You hear me? He's a snitch. But we'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. And remember, you are good enough. Despite your circumstances, despite what has happened, you are good enough and you are worthy. Have a good night, guys. We appreciate y'all.
Bye, y'all. Good night.